We're talking of nothing short of a complete transformation in forested countries of their rural sector.
I think we have in our hands today the tools that we need to make REDD Plus a success.
You definitely need the UN REDD program if you're going to be successful in the years to come.
UN REDD is a multilateral program of 3 UN agencies, FAO, UNDP and UNEP, that are trying to support countries in the REDD preparedness and at the same level are trying to give it a global framework to REDD.
UN REDD is a service to these countries, helping them to gear up in terms of instruments to monitor and verify that carbon is actually being saved, to distribute the benefits from any future REDD mechanism.
The UN REDD program is a unique collaboration in the UN system. It's not only the mitigation, it's also securing and improving livelihoods. It's about food security, and it's about conserving the biodiversity and the ecosystem services that we all need.
In order to avoid the worst risks of climate change, we should be aiming to hold temperature increases to 2 degrees centigrade.
Tropical forests store 25% of terrestrial carbon. Not only that, but they are in fact sucking in other words, absorbing a 15% share of the amount that we emit, 32 gigatons every year. The sad thing is that, of course, we are losing these self-same tropical forests, and that instead of being a huge mitigation engine, they've become a source of emission thanks to deforestation.
We have to find a way of putting a value to these forests. If ever there was a scheme that allowed you to have your cake and eat it too, it's REDD.
As UN agencies, we are deeply involved and engaged in governance. Governance meaning institutions in the country, monitoring and reporting on the forest, engagement of civil society and local communities.
The success of REDD will depend on trust, the building of trust between countries, between civil society within countries and the government. And the UN is perfectly placed to build that trust.
We have to look at how can we address some of the shortcomings, the issues of governance, the issues of poverty. How do we ensure that REDD does not marginalize forest-dependent people even further?
Suddenly, there's a chance for indigenous peoples to be heard, to be engaged, to participate in REDD in a way that never before was possible.
What's exciting with joining the UN REDD program is that we benefit actually from a lot of capacity building and learning from other countries.
Ecuador has one of the highest deforestation rates in Latin America, and therefore it is a priority for our country to reduce the deforestation. I think the UN REDD program will give us technical support and also the possibility to learn by doing with the countries.
The UN REDD program, they also take care of poverty reduction, biodiversity conservation and governance.
At the end of the day, I think we'll be very successful in reducing emission from deforestation and forest degradation, which is the ultimate goal.
The biggest strength of the UN REDD program is that you have a focal point within the UN system that has representation in all tropical forest countries. So you definitely need the UN REDD program if you're going to be successful in the years to come.